What are your thoughts on sort of this way out there hypothesis or thesis that spores of mushrooms or fungi came from space? Panspermia.
Uh, that doesn't really seem plausible to me. Um, I think it's feasible that our our common ancestor, in some form, maybe in the form of a few scraps of amino acids,
Right.
came from space. That wouldn't surprise me.
Right.
It's still, I don't know that it passes Occam's razor, but
That's a good way to put it.
in other words, I think there's an explanation that's a plausible explanation that requires fewer logical leaps.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, it's clear that all of the things living on Earth, even the really disparate things, the archaea and all of these very the organisms, unusual organisms across the spectrum of life, that they all share a common ancestor. So, that ancestor may have benefited from some component of panspermia. It's possible.
Right.
Um, uh,
I think that fungi get roped into this idea of panspermia simply because they're very hardy, right? They've been known to survive very extreme conditions in the spore state, I think.
it's mainly because they have cell walls, right?
Right.
Like fungi are in this netherworld between plants and animals. They're like plants because they have cell walls,
Right.
but they're like animals because they do animal kinds of things. They're much more closely related to animals. So
Right.
they're sort of like animals with cell walls. So they are
That's a good way.
the best of both worlds in a way. So they're very adapted to these very difficult kinds of environments. And they're probably one of the very, very earliest things to have emerged from the oceans.
Right.
And it's probably as a consequence of them that plants were able to emerge from the oceans, right?
Right.
Through that kind of partnership.